On this episode of ClariT Conversations, I'm joined by musical master, producer, singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and band leader for musical superstars like Lionel Richie, Janet Jackson, Bette Midler, and Tina Turner, just to name a few. He's had hit after hit after hit, reached the top of the Billboard charts. Chuckii Booker joins ClariT Conversations. So I am so excited to have you right now, Chuckii. This is, I know, a really odd way to talk and meet, but look, it brought us together after 30 years. How many years?
Yeah.
So we met back in 1989 in Oakland, California. We met at the KDIA concert on the Green at Lake Merritt.
Okay. Wow.
And you were, I think it must have been one of your first performances. And you seemed like you were nervous before your performance backstage, just like I was. I was nervous. It was my first public appearance with the radio station.
If it was 1989, that would be one of my very first appearances. Yeah.
At a lake in a park.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Vaguely.
With
I don't remember the sense. I don't remember the scenario, but I remember that, and I remember you.
Of course you remember
yes,
me.
Yeah, but I remember In Vogue, and I remember Tommy and Denny, the Thomas McElroy and Denzel Foster were there. I remember that. I was talking to them for a while. Yeah.
Vesta Williams performed that day.
Wow.
Christopher Williams.
Wow.
Because of two Williams last names, I remember that clearly. And Hammer was backstage, peddling his music.
Because I remember talking to Hammer too. That's right. I forgot about that. I did talk to him for briefly.
That was a great day, and that was the day we met, and that was so many years ago. But you were pushing your song,
Turned Away.
Yeah, and dancing on stage and all that. Okay, so you were considered New Jack Swing. What did you? Were you proud to be part of the whole New Jack Swing movement at that time?
I mean, sure. I mean, I would never consider myself a New Jack artist per se, but yeah, if anything, Turned Away. I know people say, "Oh, that's New Jack," but it's not. It's really go-go. It's go-go with some chords on top. That's if you play. Yeah, it's just go-go.
Yes.
The rhythm of the cowbells and the percussion.
Yeah.
Straight go-go, so I just kind of ripped.
Also, maybe you kind of set the pace for doing the butt and School Days and all of that.
Well, I think that was already out before then.
Oh, okay.
I think it was, so I just kind of took that, the drum kind of stuff a little bit, not a lot, just a little from that, and put it towards, pop R&B at that time, R&B at that time. So
I think that's something a lot of people don't realize, is that you use that style.
Yeah.
Or that genre.
But it came out, during that, the New Jack era. Thanks to Teddy. Teddy Riley started the New Jack Swing. So anybody that was Black and came out with an R&B record, you were automatically thrown in the New Jack, Swing era, no matter what,
right.
And you know what? And I'm cool with that. I'm cool. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but nah. because for those of us who have followed you and have listened to your music and know what you do, there is no way that they even had a clue what you were really about, or what you were capable of, and what you had going for you. That's just how it is, though, I guess, when you're...
Yeah, no, that's just how it is. I mean, you listen to the rest of both of my records, and there is not 1 ounce New Jack in any of that. Maybe with the exception, maybe one kind of, but other than that, no.
So let's go all the way back to when you were an actual New Jack, the little kid in the projects in Southern California.
Yes.
That New Jack. Okay, so just take a moment.
Uh-huh.
What kind of student were you? I mean, because you you ended up in music, and most students who end up in music were the students who weren't really academically like into it. But what were your school days like?
Oh, and I was a great student.
Okay.
I just had this conversation with my mother just a few days ago. We were talking about, me being in school. No, I was great. I was all A's. Maybe a couple of B's here and there, but mostly A's. I was part of, in my high school, I was part of a program called the Knights, where only the top, 10 students out of the entire, class could be part of this club. So I was part of that. And it was called the Knights, and I was a part of that. And I had great grades, But I think I did it mostly because I was so ready to get back home and do my art and do my music. So my mom says, "Hey, if you do well, I'll help you get this. I'll help you get a guitar, help you get this, whatever." And so I passed with flying. I had a reason to. I was passed with flying colors. I did. It was like no problem for me.
So that was your motivation.
That was definitely my motivation.
She hung that carrot in front of you.
She sure did. She hung that carrot. Yeah.
So the carrot was it a guitar? What was your first instrument?
My first instrument actually was a bass guitar.
Oh.
It was a bass.
For a little kid. How old were you?
Yeah. Oh, I was 13 when I got my first bass. We always had a piano in our home, so that wasn't, I don't really consider that, getting an instrument, because we always had a piano in the home. So but my very first instrument was a bass guitar. And I was 13 or 14. My grandmother took me down to the pawn shop, and I found this red bass, and I was like, "That's it, Ma. That's the one I want." And it was a left-handed bass. And I'm left-handed, so I couldn't find any basses at that time. But I found this one that was left-handed, and my grandmother got it for me. And man, that was it. I was gone after that.
That was destiny.
Yeah,
it's like a children's book. You need to write that book.
Yeah,
that's the perfect children's book, because really, the left-handed guitar being red, sitting in the dusty corner at the pawn shop.
Yep.
That could be a great story.
Yeah.
Especially since you are the creator of a scholarship for children who are composing at an early age and beginning their music career.
Yes.
Talk about your Chuckii Booker scholarship just briefly, because a lot of people don't realize that it's out there for those musically gifted students and family members of theirs.
Well, every year, me and associated with BMI, we come together for each year, and then we give out a scholarship program, for any excelling student or someone that's just really into music, that has the depth and the power and the want to be in the industry. So I spoke with BMI, and they said, "Hey, you know what? Let's try to put something together, and we can, put together this little, and it's $3,000 plus a start." Yeah, so it's very cool. It's very cool.
So they can find out more online by going to what?
BMImusic.com.
Okay. All right, that's cool. I just kind of read up on that a little bit. It was nice to see that.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids, so as a kid, you were, running around the projects. You had your red bass guitar. You're playing the piano, and were you performing in school and stuff, or in church? What were you doing?
Yeah, I started playing and singing in church when I was 7. Actually, when I was 7, I was playing in church. My mother just kind of threw me out there and said, "Okay, you're gonna play and sing." So I did that, and she saw that I wasn't nervous, and she saw that, oh, okay, he's a natural. He can, do it or whatever. So I just pretty much just played in church, because my mother's she's a gospel pianist. So I just kind of followed under her wing. In fact, my entire family, they're all musicians. So it was just a matter of time for me
My conversation with musical master Chuckii Booker will continue on ClariT Conversations, but you have to visit our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and tap on the notifications bell to receive updates on our latest episodes.